Together, a crisis team to support students and teachers after the tragic loss of 7 people on the city's south side. Police confirm that 4 adults and 3 children were found dead inside this home in South Moorhead over the weekend. Those children attended Reinertson Elementary and Moorhead High School. Police were called to the 4400 block of 13th Street South around 8 Saturday night after family members found the bodies while doing a welfare check. There were no signs of violence or forced entry into that home, and police are not looking for any suspects. Police also say there is no known threat to the public because of the incident. The bodies were taken to the Ramsey County Medical Examiner's office in St. Paul for autopsies. Police say the identities of the victims will likely be released later this week. Stay with us right here at Valley News Live for this story. Closing arguments are scheduled today in the trial of a former police officer who killed Dante Wright in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, during a traffic stop. Kim Potter is accused of manslaughter for the shooting. She says she meant to use her taser on Wright, but grabbed her handgun instead. Some legal experts say Potter's testimony on Friday was notably scant on the key element of her defense. They say it appeared to be a missed opportunity for Potter to tell the jurors exactly how a mix-up might have happened and what she was thinking, and that some jurors were likely waiting to hear just that. In the first-degree manslaughter charge, prosecutors must convince the jury that Potter caused Wright's death while also committing the crime of reckless use of a firearm involving such force that great bodily harm was reasonably foreseeable. In the second-degree manslaughter charge, the state must show that Potter's conduct involved culpable negligence and that she consciously took a chance of causing death or great bodily harm. 6:52 on this Monday morning. Right now, 9 degrees. Bundle up before you head outside. Nathan Hopper has a check of your Monday forecast.
Yeah, thanks, Jordan. Absolutely have that skin covered because that wind chill is dangerous out there, especially for some folks out toward the north and west. Here's a live look at our Luther Family Ford Skycam. Traffic has picked up along I-29 and also on 32nd Avenue South, but watch out for some slippery spots on those roadways. Even though we haven't got any active snowfall in Fargo today, we have seen some blowing snow onto those roadways and causing some intersections to be on the slippery side. So definitely give yourself a little extra stopping distance as you head out and about on this Monday morning. There's the 9 degrees in Fargo we mentioned a few seconds ago, 4 degrees in Grand Forks, 3 degrees Thief River Falls. But look at Devil's Lake, 2 degrees there at this hour. So that's where we're seeing that wind chill advisory. That goes until noon today. Could see wind chills this morning. 25 degrees below zero, if not colder on some backyard thermometers there, but by the time we get to lunchtime here today. So that's where we're most hoping people can keep those ears covered, the gloves on, and any exposed skin limited to exposure to that cold. There's the snowfall we saw off toward the south. It really has fallen apart in the last hour, but in our southeastern North Dakota counties, we are expecting some slippery spots from some fresh snowfall in those areas, in addition to some blowing snowfall from a light fluffy snow that fell there. But by and large, things are quiet elsewhere on the map today. Now, here's what we're watching for tonight. Our evening commute, things look quiet, but the snow does return for most everybody after dinner time tonight. Could see some spots that get 2 to 5 inches of snowfall, mainly along, say, Highway 200 or maybe Highway 10, kind of in that little corridor into Minnesota, but then the 94 corridor and Highway 200 corridor in North Dakota, most likely we'll see that 2 to 5 inches. Light, fluffy snowfall is expected, so some blowing snow, some slippery spots are expected for that Tuesday morning commute tomorrow. So that's where we're expecting the heaviest impacts, at least within the next 24 hours from snowfall. But then Christmas Eve, we've raised a first alert weather day. Here's what we're watching. A system makes its way through with some mixed precip possible there for Friday before transitioning over to snow on Christmas Day, which is Saturday. So for those folks who are traveling, make sure to have a plan and also make sure to have our VNL weather app. It's free, and we'll be updating this storm frequently because of how impactful the day before Christmas is for travel. So with possible impacts to travel, slippery roadways, both on highways and side roads, and snowfall is expected also to continue into Christmas Day. So I'm saying there's a chance of seeing a white Christmas, but of course it comes with those travel impacts, and some wind on Christmas also could make for some slippery conditions for those traveling on Christmas Day itself. So a lot of things we're watching for Christmas Day. But Jordan, I'm saying right now there's a chance of us waking up to a beautiful white Christmas here on Saturday.
All right, I already got the music playing. Looking forward to having a few snowflakes, but you really do got to slow down then when you hit the road.
Exactly.
All right, thank you, Nathan. It's now 6:54. There is a major snag in the president's Build Back Better plan. West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin now says he will not support it. The senator says he's concerned about adding to the national debt. Republicans are holding strong in their opposition of the legislation, while Democrats need to secure a vote from every senator in their party in order for that measure to pass. Dr. Anthony Fauci says the Omicron COVID-19 variant is raging around the world, and people need to remain vigilant against that virus. Tomorrow, President Joe Biden plans to give what his press secretary says is a stark warning of what the winter will look like for unvaccinated Americans. The Drug Enforcement Administration is warning parents to be aware of drug traffickers using social media, even emojis, to try and entice young people. Platforms like Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, and even Facebook can reach a large audience for traffickers. The DEA says they use the platforms and emojis almost like a secret code, which many adults won't understand at first glance. But it's a code that police say is important for parents to learn how to crack. One 9-year-old Fargo girl is trying to spread a little holiday cheer, whether you're a person or an animal, and she's doing it all while battling a tumor. Bea has had a tumor in her arm since she was 3 years old. Despite those challenges, she's made it her mission to help others. From her lemonade stands to baking treats, this little girl is determined and follows her motto of be kind, and her parents say they're proud.
She's done it, and she's done it with others, and she helped out so many people, and she sees that, and it's amazing.
For more information on how to support Bea, visit valleynewslive.com and click on this story. The Minnesota State Patrol is reminding you to drive smart this winter. Sergeant Jesse Grabo says trooper responded to several crashes and spinouts over the weekend, including this one right here. Let's take it full screen. It's a picture that Grabo tweeted yesterday where a state trooper squad car was hit and several cars had slipped off the road on I-94 near Rothsay. Grabo says the area between Rothsay and Fergus Falls has been the busiest and slipperiest so far. Also yesterday, a vehicle hauling a fish house slid off Highway 10 near the Buffalo River Bridge in Glendon. Shoulder cables were able to catch that vehicle before it could slide into the river. Thankfully, no one was hurt. It has been a long road for the Bison football team, but it's finally set to end in Frisco. The Bison are preparing to wrap up their second playoff run inside one calendar year. The Bison had to play the 2020 season last spring due to the COVID pandemic. They went 7-3 in the spring season and then fell in the quarterfinals to the eventual national champ, Sam Houston State. NDSU then finished the fall regular season with a 10-1 record, and they won 3 playoff games to advance to the national championship. The Bison face the Montana State Bobcats on January 8th. One 15-year-old Minnesota girl is being hailed a hero for rushing to the aid of one of her customers at a McDonald's in Eden Prairie. Sydney Raleigh spotted a woman at her drive-thru Saturday who was coughing profusely and whose daughter looked frightened. So Sydney jumped out of the window, got the woman out of the car, and then performed the Heimlich maneuver while the daughter called 911. But her efforts didn't seem to be working, so she called over another driver waiting in line, who then ended up dislodging a chicken nugget from the woman's throat. Sydney learned the rescue technique in a first aid class that she took to become a babysitter. It's turning into a Christmas tradition at restaurants across the country. Customers giving big tips to servers, and it happened again in Riverton, Utah. A group of 12 people celebrating their annual Christmas party gave waitress Yoshimi Gonzalez a $1,700 tip.
Caught me by surprise. I was trying really hard not to cry, and then after everything, I was shaking for a really long time, just kind of taking everything in like it just really just happened.
You know, she's got 3 kids. She works 2 jobs. You know, a hardworking lady, always helps us out, picks up shifts whenever needed. Like most restaurants, you know, we're short on staff. So it was a really cool night.
Gonzalez says she will use the money to pay bills, get herself a new coat and boots, and get shoes for her children as well. Let's get the answer now to that question of the morning on Facebook. Our question, kids were asked to describe their perfect Christmas morning. Nearly 60% said it included this. The answer, some pancakes. A good Christmas breakfast there. You can play along every day. The Today Show and CBS This Morning are just about to start, but the Valley Today rolls on. Find us on the Fargo CW.